I could have portrayed what was going to be included in the video more. I could have leaned more towards the allegation in terms of like the women, right? I could have, you know, included clips of like Krexa crying or something like that, right? Stuff like that. Like I could have included stuff like that. Made the intro more tied down to what the video is about. I probably could have included it with a caveat that Cameron didn't respond to it. And also, it's really hard to prove something like that unless you're literally filming the door and like turning the knob and it's not opening or something, right? Like it's going to be really hard to prove something like that. So like, yeah, I could have included that and just clarified that there's no, you know, take it as you will or whatever, right? No, that's in the video. Why didn't you add the whole Bug Squander Stitch clips from Aiden interview? Yeah, fuck. I was trying to remember. Yeah, I think it could have been better. I'm mostly fine with it though. I think from what I've heard. All right. So in terms of the video,
yes, there it is, dude.
One of the pieces of criticism that I got. And I'm not going to say who criticized because I don't want to like lambast people. I asked a bunch of people, including like larger YouTubers, for criticism about this video. I was like, hey, I'm getting a lot of critique on this video. Okay. I want to know in terms of like the scripting and in terms of like the pacing. Thank you, Fox Actual, for $10 dono. Oh my goodness. Very generous. Jesus. First dono of the day. Smile. Like sub dono, guys. Like sub dono. I appreciate all the donos. Thank you. It was Queeman. This one wasn't Queeman, I don't think. So I like this intro. Okay. I like this intro. I think this is a good intro, but it's bad in terms of the videos. I'll play the intro and then I'll talk about it a little bit.
Yes, there it is, dude. There it is. That's our boy. That's all I need to hear to like this guy.
Also, I want to give a shout out to this guy, and he made like a parody content cop that's actually like a real content cop. It's actually pretty impressive. Here, let's take a look.
So the same guy who took iDubbbz' content cop and made it on him and got 1 million views in 3 weeks just dropped his update video called Content Deputy.
CameronF305 has recently labeled himself as the new content cop, making 2 videos attempting to capture what made iDubbbz's original series so impactful. He is trying to build a brand on fair critique, but given his history of doctoring evidence, abuse, and even allegations of sexual assault, this all begs the question, why won't Cameron be honest about himself? So I think that intro's fine. In terms of like the overarching video, okay. In terms of the overarching video, it's a bad intro. Where are the Blender allegations? I'll talk about them in a minute. So in terms of the overarching video, it's a bad intro because it leads you to believe that the criticisms I'm about to levy are about his content cop or him like criticizing Hassan or him criticizing whatever content cop, right? Or did you draw that evil wind blowing gif? I don't get it. What? I don't know what that means. So it is a what is the term? Misleading? It is a misleading intro, which is probably why the views are so low, right? People are clicking off because it's not what they expect. So yeah, the intro could have been better, right? It is misleading. When you watch the intro, you're going into the video thinking that you're going to get a critique about his content maybe, or get a critique about his content cops or something like that, right? Which yeah, I fucked up on the intro. The intro could have been better. I could have portrayed what was going to be included in the video more. I could have leaned more towards the allegation in terms of like the women, right? I could have, you know, included clips of like Krexa crying or something like that, right? Stuff like that. Like I could have included stuff like that. Made the intro more tied down to what the video is about, right? You can come back from this if you say this video is a teaser. Yeah, this is a trailer. No, I am making a follow-up, but it's probably going to be significantly shorter and like more loose and stuff like that. But one thing that probably needed to not be in the video, if we look here, the first 3 minutes, which it seems like it's like a 2-minute section, right? This 2-minute section. No, that was the criticism about this video. Well, I don't know how. What is the criticism? That the video was too loose. This is not. What does that mean? What? No, more loose than that. I'm not gonna like hyper focus the points that I missed and make a little bit of a stronger argument. Make the video shorter. But like the first 2 minutes probably didn't need to exist, right? In terms of Yandere Dev probably should be included in the video because he obviously has like a significant part to play. But like this beginning part where it's like, who is this guy? He's started YouTube in 2016 and he met Jacksepticeye. Like that probably didn't need to be in the video, right? That didn't need to be in the video. And then like the Yandere Dev stuff, like up in here, didn't really need to be in here. I think this Apis clip, right? I think this is important to have in. Because I do think it's like a start to the pattern, right?
About Dr. Apis, in which he admits to forging a screenshot in order to win a debate.
I took a real screenshot and another real screenshot, combined them, and I made a fake screenshot for that debate. This was a mistake of mine, because then I ruined any validity that I had in this situation.
So I think this is important. This should have been in the video. This should stay in the video, whatever. Like everything before this, like this could have been significantly cut down, right? This could have been significantly cut down. This all could have been removed basically because the allegations do not have anything to do with him like when he was younger, really. This is the farthest back I go on the timeline is like his Apis drama, right? So that all could have been cut down. That was pretty much a waste. I do agree. One YouTuber that I asked said the video needed less about Yandere Dev and more about Cameron. Because a lot of this, like even if it's only like a 3-minute segment, right? It's only like a 3-minute segment. But like this is the beginning of the video. You need to hook people. You need to give people a reason to stay, right? So I think that could have been completely removed, and the video probably would have been fine. In terms of the Crexa shit, I think the Crexa segment is mostly fine. Like the entire Crexa segment up until the end. So it's about 16 minutes. 16 minutes of Crexa, more or less. I think mostly the Crexa section is fine. I'm mostly happy with it. I think it flowed super well. I think it was cohesive and informative. The major thing I left out, other than the choking clip, which I'll talk about, the only thing I left out of the Crexa bit, which people had issues with, was him locking her out of the house. Could I have included that? Probably. I probably could have included that. I probably could have included it with a caveat that Cameron didn't respond to it. And also, it's really hard to prove something like that unless you're literally filming the door and like turning the knob and it's not opening or something, right? Like it's going to be really hard to prove something like that. So like, yeah, I could have included that and just clarified that there's no, take it as you will or whatever, right? But then the choking clip, where is that? So I didn't show the full choking clip. Where is it? Like right here?
Fine.
No, that the full is clearly what she takes issue with. What is Cameron's excuse?
So you can kind of see it fade out there. And like, I think you can kind of see it again here.
Takes the clip out of context. What was Cameron's?
You can kind of see the chin. So I won't pull up the clip just because I don't have it on hand. Or I could pull it up, whatever. You guys get the point. Basically, he digs his chin into the top of her head. He's like gritting his teeth and like putting pressure down. Which Queeman, when he gave this critique, is like, yeah, this cements it, kind of, right? This cements it. This makes it, like this shadow of a doubt. He was trying to harm her. He was trying to fuck with her, even as a joke. It's still bad. It's still purposeful harm. This kind of, lays a foundation. I'm not going word for word with what Queeman said. I'm kind of using it in my own words, but this can provide like a good foundation for the rest of the claims. Like if we already know that this guy's willing to be bad faith and lie about the choking clip where he's obviously being like intentionally harmful, the rest of this section can go by pretty smoothly because it has a good foundation. And I do think including the choking clip before things like the police report is good, right? Because this lays a good foundation for like a strong argument with the police report. Do I think the chin is like extremely important and extremely crucial to the story? Not really. There's a reason I didn't include it. I still don't really think it's like that strong of an argument to include the chin, to be honest. But But like, yeah, I do think having it in wouldn't have hurt the video. It would have added more. It would have helped it. So I think that's fine. I should have included it. I shouldn't have cut it off. I should have included it, obviously. The rest of the Crexus section I think is fine. I think the long recordings in the Crexus section are warranted because you need all of this context, right? You need the entirety of the context in the recordings here. So I think the recordings in like the first half of the video before you get to the jelly section are like fine. I think yeah, the first half of the video I'm pretty happy with, right? I think the first half of the video I'm pretty happy with. I think outside of like maybe cutting things a little short in the Yandere dev bit, I think, you know, this could have been cut out. I do think Lovesick and Apis is important insofar as to set like a start to the pattern, like the first domino, but past that, you don't need to know anything about fucking Yandere dev or Yandere simulator, right? Other than the guy makes music for the game or made music for the game. You don't need to know any of that. So yeah, I agree. The first half is mostly good. I'm mostly happy with the first half. I think the intro, basically the first 3 minutes probably could have been cut down and then like a different intro because the intro is a little misleading. The second half of the video, obviously the jelly bit, I think the beginning of the jelly bit is pretty strong. Here, like right here. I think the beginning of the jelly bit is pretty strong.
Exclusive knowledge of his wrongdoings. Cameron's odd choices get even more bizarre as we go further into the timeline, as Cameron would plan to and successfully meet up in real life with Yandere Dev's grooming victim 4 separate times. Now, before we go any further, because things are about to get significantly more serious, I want to make something perfectly clear. Cameron was 19 and Jelly was 16. That's a 3-year age gap.
I think like the first quarter maybe of Jelly's section is probably pretty good. I'm mostly happy with the Jelly section. I think the bit that I could have included, or I needed to mostly just cut okay. With the clips that are very long in this last section, the thing I was worried about was taking people out of context. I didn't want people to be like, oh, you didn't include the full clip, you cut it short or something. Like I wanted to avoid that criticism, but obviously, you know, hindsight is 2020. Nobody's gonna give a fuck if that's cut short. It's like, yeah, that could have been probably removed entirely, especially because I summarize it. The reason I summarized it was just in case people skipped the clip or in case they got like lost in the explanation, stuff like that. I wanted, you know, some sort of TLDR, like this is what happened in that clip. But yeah, especially because I do give a TLDR, that clip probably could have been cut entirely. I needed to realize that in terms of like serious allegations, like the Crexa clip, this is fine being in its entirety because this is the allegation. The allegation is of like a verbal abuse, right? Like he's like verbally berating her, won't let her go, won't leave her alone, all that shit. Like this is the allegation. This is pretty crucial to the arguments I give. You kind of have to listen to this whole thing. It is very long. Probably one of the longer clips in the whole video. It's like 3 minutes, 4 minutes in its entirety, right? With the end bit stitched on. I think that's crucial to have in the video. But yeah, I agree. The Dickers clip, where is it? It's like near the end. Is it not near the end? Where is it? This clip right here. This one. So it starts at like 31 minutes and then it goes. So yeah, it is basically exactly 3 minutes long. This probably could have been removed. It didn't need to be in here. I didn't need to include the entirety of the clip for this to work. Like you don't need to hear Jelly's entire speech for, you know, I could have just given it a TLDR and that could have been it, right? That could have been it. The TLDR and then that's it. You didn't need to hear her talk about it. I could probably even have just trimmed more. Like if I really wanted this clip in the video, probably could have trimmed more of it out, right? Okay. Is there anything else? The choking clip and then this clip. Basically, I think the criticism mostly is obviously the choking clip I should have included more of, but past that, mostly a lot of this stuff could have been cut or shortened down. More punchy, be more punchy and short and like sweet. The video could have been a little shorter, right? Video could have been a little shorter, I think. But mostly, generally speaking, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's a good video. My goal with the video, to be transparent, okay? My goal with the video isn't to prove that Cameron sexually assaulted a 16-year-old grooming victim or had sex with a 16-year-old. I really don't care if he did or didn't. He was like 19 when it happened. It's probably fine. It was probably like an awkward sexual experience. Did they have sex? Probably. I don't fucking... Who cares? Who cares if they had sex or not? I think it changes the story very little if they did or did not have sex. Like, it is pretty inconsequential. My goal with the video broadly is to show that this guy is dishonest, and he probably shouldn't be making videos criticizing people unless he takes accountability properly for the things that he's, lied about in terms of these women, right? Not enough plug mentions make it funny. Kate, one of the criticisms I got from one guy told me this. He was like, you're funny on your streams. You got to be funny in the video too. I can't write jokes. I'm not funny on command. I cannot write jokes, okay? I'm not going to make like funny video essays. I definitely prefer making like serious, when I say professional as so far as like YouTube videos go. Like I enjoy doing that type of thing. So no, I'm probably not going to do like comedy. I think there's one joke in the video. Where is it? There's like one joke in the whole video. It's like right here.
Grandmother's house, the place where she was ultimately dropped off at, is also 30 minutes away. On foot, that's a 2-hour walk. And to her parents' house would have been over 5 hours of walking. So what kind of position did Cameron put her in?
They can't refuse because of the implication.
Cameron wouldn't take her home.
That's the only joke in the whole video. Bit more personality would have been nice. I don't know what people keep saying this. I don't know what that means. What fucking personality do I have? I feel like this video has my personality because I'm the one that fucking wrote it, scripted it, edited it, made the fucking video, basically.
I know you're down, but keep your head up. Things will get better.
Jesus Christ. Thank you, Federal Rape, for the $100 dono. Thank you, Federal Rape. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. I don't know what the no personality thing really means, right? I don't know what that means. I feel like it has my personality. The video is entirely me. Like I made the whole video. I did everything in it. Other than like some bits of research, but even then, like I didn't just take it at face value. I obviously looked at it and like came to my own conclusion on it, right? This could be you if you decided to take kid gloves off. No, I wanted to be fair. I wanted to be cordial and nice and fair throughout the entire video. I didn't want to be bad faith because Cameron was dismissing a lot of the criticism by saying like, oh, it's bad faith actors. Oh, people criticizing me are bad faith. I didn't want that to be the response. I wanted ideally for an honest, video, whatever. So I definitely wanted to be like super nice and fair and cordial. If I could have been, right? As much as I could be. So yeah, I definitely wanted to, a lot of this, there's a lot in this video where I say like, to be fair, this is how this could have happened. This is convenient. I don't know if this is true, but this is what's claimed. Like there's a lot of times where I say stuff like that. I think that's fine. His personality is there. He's just a dry personality. True. See, my personality is there. I'm just really boring. Okay? I'm just really boring. I personally think you should have added more, like showing how he cut the clip of her choking. That's in the video. Did you watch it?
I'm stealing the stream for a minute.
I'm gonna just stroll here. She was initially laughing and then she tugged away. I assumed it was because I was kind of pushing her around a bit when I was doing that, when I said, "I'm gonna destroy you." Stream moved on and everything was fine.
No, that wasn't a cut I made. That is Cameron's video in full without any modification. Remember, the full clip shows the initial armor on the neck, which Krexa plays along with, and then
Sure. No, that's in the video. Why didn't you add the whole Bug Squander Stitch clips from Aiden interview? Yeah, fuck. I was trying to remember what the other criticism was. That was the big one. So in retrospect, I definitely should have included that. Because even if I don't really give a fuck about that situation, because ultimately what ended up being released, that full call when listened to was like nothing. There was nothing of importance in there as far as I remember. So it's just like, okay, well, he probably, I don't know if he was being malicious here or whatever. But yeah, in retrospect, obviously hindsight is 2020. I probably could have included that. Like, here's another example of him being dishonest. When pressed about these full calls, CameronF305 spends an hour trying to cut them and giving Aiden, like a cut up clip. He doesn't want to show Aiden the full clip. Now, ultimately, he did end up releasing the full calls eventually, and I don't think there's anything in here that in this specific call that's like extremely damning or like extremely important or whatever. I don't necessarily know what he was trying to hide from Aiden, but regardless, this is just another example of him being dishonest. Especially live, like live doctoring evidence, live editing clips, live editing whatever, stuff like that. Like I definitely think, obviously, in retrospect, I say like, yeah, I probably should have included that. Like, yeah, cut out that entire Dickers clip and I'd like cut out that 3 minutes and replace it with a 3 minutes about that clip, like explaining the metadata and showing how Cameron did indeed edit that. Right, that probably could have added a lot. I don't know. I don't have faith that Papa Gut is going to side with you in any way. Why the fuck would he side with me? Papa Gut is like way too bought in to like the side cucking. He just hates Hassan. Anybody who is not hating Hassan, he's not gonna fuck with. I don't ever think I was not trying to get Papa Gut on my side or anything. I don't think that would have ever worked. I don't think Papa Gut is ever going to be on my side. It seemed like he was already preemptively against the video. Yeah, because he's pro Cameron. True. I don't think is ever going to change Papa Gut's mind. Ultimately, Blender allegations in a second. Okay, the Blender allegations, I'll talk about it now. Dude, I did not use Blender at all in this video, okay? People have been saying this. There's like a Twitter video. And Queeman's like, oh, spend 2,000 hours in Blender. I don't even have 2,000. How many hours do I have in Blender? Let me see. How many hours do I have in Blender? I only have 60 hours in Blender. I only have 60 hours in Blender. I didn't even do this in Blender. I didn't make this video in Blender, okay? What the fuck? So no, none of that was made in Blender. That's the Blender allegations. That was all done in DaVinci Resolve. No Blender was used in this video. Okay, no Blender was used in this video. No Blender, none at all. None at all. I do think the tone you took in the video probably did do a decent job of preventing or disarming some critics from outside of commentary. No easy debunks from Cameron, dick sucks, so that is good. You know, I agree. Like I said, my goal with the video, and this is going to be a little bit of admittedly, a little bit of hypocrisy, maybe hypocrisy. I will not confirm or deny hypocrisy because I'll shit on Willie Mac all day for making videos for normies and like including bad information and stuff like that. But ultimately, my video was not for Aiden projects to react to and have a good time watching. My video was ultimately not for Queeman to enjoy and watch and like love and be his favorite fucking video. My video was not for fucking Chud Logic to watch. My video ultimately was for like random generic viewer or random generic Cameron fan to watch it and to soak up the information and to hopefully come to the conclusion that this guy is at the very least, like at the very, 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 very least, okay, very least dishonest. And I think ultimately it more or less succeeded there. I think ultimately it more or less succeeded. I think there are issues with the video. I don't think it was ever going to be perfect. But yeah, I think ultimately it succeeded on that front. I think it succeeded in terms of like, you know, random generic YouTube viewer. Random glupshitto Aaron who works at the corner store probably enjoyed this video or something. I think that's fine. I think it succeeded on that front. I think it could have been better. I think the video could be significantly better. I think ultimately I agree with Queeman when he says like 6 or 7 out of 10. I think if I, you know, cut down the Yandere dev segment, make the Crexus section a little bit better, make stronger arguments. I needed to make more definitive claims. I was a little vague, I think. I was a little vague, I think. But ultimately, I think the video was fine. I think it could have been better. I think obviously cut down the Dickers clip. Add a little bit more. Yeah, I think it could have been better. I'm mostly fine with it though. I think from what I've heard, which is mostly basically every point of criticism I was given, I think is fair and I think is like warranted. The VR chat audience is not happy with it. Yeah. Smile. Yeah, smile. I definitely don't in it at all. I'm not passionate about it at all. I enjoyed making the glass video. I thought this was a fun project to work on. I really don't want to be stuck in the VR chat niche. So yeah, going forward, I'm probably not going to make VR chat videos. Going forward, I'm probably not going to make VR chat videos. I have plans for videos I'm going to go and make in the future. I thought you were A/B testing it. Yeah, I am. I think. Hold on, let me check. I can check Studio. Let's see. What thumbnail is doing the best? Let me check. Definitely the strongest point. In retrospect, I probably would have gone about the police report section a little bit differently. I think I could have been more punchy with it. I think I could have been more, I think that section could have been more impactful. How do I check the thumbnails? I forget. No, yeah, the intro is definitely really bad. When I say bad, okay, when I say bad, the intro is bad in terms of it being misleading. Because after the intro, people are clicking off. After the intro, like half of the viewers clicked off, it seems. I'm looking at analytics. So yeah, the intro, I like the intro. I think the intro is catchy. I think it's attention grabby, but it's obviously not the type of video that this is, right? So oh, the first thumbnail is doing the best. That's cool. I thought without the intro it'd do worse because it doesn't get interesting for like 2 minutes. No, yeah, in terms of the video, this entire Yandere dev section could have been cut out. I needed to get to the point quicker. I meandered far too much. I wasted far too much time. I had a misleading intro that led into something boring, which is very bad, obviously, I'm going to learn from this. This is a mistake on my part. I get into the trap when doing these videos of like talking about who the person is. I don't know why I do that. It's like an autistic obsession. I do the same thing here. Right?
13,180. That's how many messages were sent between Glass and OnlyFans models Woven.
Why do I sound so bored reading this? What the fuck? I probably need to read scripts a bit better. I sound like bored. I sound like I have a gun to my head. I'm about to end it all. What the fuck? I sound very bored here.
Over the course of their 24-day Discord relationship, messages that took on a different weight after she decided to break things off. Add to that the dozens of YouTube community posts, non-stop Twitter crash outs, and multiple alleged misconducts with minors. It goes on to paint a pretty bleak picture. Glass first began uploading Gmod trolling content.
See, like, I talk about like who the person is. I don't know why. I don't know why I do this. I don't know why I do this. It's like a autistic fixation I have when writing scripts. I'm like, I gotta talk about who this guy is. I gotta talk about this person.
On his current channel in late 2023, which he continued to do up until around May of 2024. He then pivoted almost entirely to VR chat trolling content. This was around the same time that other creators such as Proximity Chat were already becoming successful in this genre, and all things considered, VR chat being a more niche game in comparison to Gmod, he was doing fairly well. This would all come to a head on the 30th of June, where a user
Yeah, I don't know why I do this. I probably need to stop doing that so much. Open your webcam while reading a script and read it while looking at yourself and make yourself look like you're not an autist. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. It's appropriate for retrospectives and lolcow content, maybe. Yeah, this was definitely more... Like I said, okay? Like I said, the video has issues. I don't want to... I'm happy with the video. I think it's fine. However, it's definitely not going to get a lot of views. The intro is misleading, and the intro is not only misleading, but it's misleading and it leads into like the most boring part of the video. The boring part of the video should be like at the end or something, right? It's like, yeah, the video is probably not going to do well. And yeah, it's my fault, obviously. I'm not going to say like, I'm not going to do like, it's Gamma's fault because he told me the video was good. Ultimately, I think it's a good video. I think it's visually interesting. I think ultimately, I'm mostly happy with it. But yeah, it definitely could have been better. I need to figure out who I can send videos to like vet them and make sure they're good, that aren't just gonna like glaze me, for lack of a better term. Because, dude, if I send someone a video and they just glaze me, that doesn't do anything. That hurts, basically. That like hurts. Aiden, probably not Aiden, no. Is there anything else? Show them on stream first? I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know. Everyone, it's so crazy because everyone I showed the video to, it seems like normies like the video. It seems like generic, random people. I say generic. I don't know if generic's the right term. Random people seem to like the video. Random people seem to enjoy the video because I sent it to a bunch of people. I sent it to like a couple people that knew about the story, and then I sent it to a couple of people who didn't know about the story. I was like, hey, like pre-watch this. Tell me if there's anything I need to fix or change or update or whatever. Everybody came back to me. I was like, yeah, this is perfect. This is really good. So it seems like normies or people who aren't like super invested into the story like it. But the moment you have like people who have covered this since day one, stuff like that, that's when people are going to get, a little more upset with it because it doesn't have everything, or it doesn't have like strong, super strong points, I guess. Good way to describe it. We need scapegoats. No, I'm not going to scapegoat anyone. I mean, ultimately, I don't think it's the fault of people that reviewed the video, because ultimately I'm still the one that made it and edited it and stuff, right?
Content cap yourself. Fix your errors in the video. Add what you left out while talking about how RFY pedant at why you are.
True. Thank you for the 5, Nate. Someone said I should do a fucking a director's cut. And I'm like, I don't know if I don't know if I do a director's cut, or I would much rather do like just a full-on follow-up, and you know, fix some of the errors in the follow-up rather than like just remake the whole video, right? Everyone donate $100 and Mrow will quit. Hold on, Green said something. Hold on. Have you considered it is worthwhile to have people who disagree with you and will criticize your decision because it might show flaws in your decision-making process, of which there are many flaws? I mean, I don't care. As long as people don't like fucking leak the video or something, or like fucking post it around. I don't care who I send it to. As long as people are honest, I wouldn't really care. You ever show the thumbnail percentages? They're all around like 30%. So the one that's on my monitor right now is the weakest at 27. The original, the one that has like lies and abuse in the name, has 36% or 37% actually. And then the one with Ethan and Yandere Dev, which is very clickbaity because I talk about none of them pretty much, has 35 or 36. Which, to be clear, this is going to sound like cope. It's not cope. It's not cope, I swear. To be clear, I was never expecting this video to get like... This video was never going to hit 100K. I'd be surprised if it even hit 50K. And obviously, seeing the performance now, I'd be surprised if it's going to hit, you know, 10K by the end of the month, right? I'd be surprised if, like, over the lifetime of the video, it's going to get 50K. I think that's super unrealistic. I didn't expect this video to do super well. But obviously, with the fumbles I made in it, it's probably not going to, you know, blow up or anything. But yeah, I'll learn from it. If there's any more questions or anything else, I'll answer it. But besides that, I think we'll move on. I don't want to get trapped. Yeah, about an hour on this segment. We can probably move on after this. You never answered my question about Hutch. What was your question about Hutch? I don't see it. You're gonna have to ask it again. Did you get enough sleep during the video? No. I basically have switched my sleeping schedule to be awake at night and be asleep during the day, because of my electricity issues. I basically can only use my computer when like nobody else is using electricity in the house. So even right now, I'm pretty tired. The video, yeah, I mean, obviously, if the video was released at the peak and also it fixed all the issues that are obviously in it, I think it would have been like a great video. It would have done amazing. It would have done beautifully, right? That would have been perfect, but obviously, you know, I took too long with it. I overthink it. I overthink it. I overthought it. Overthought. I overthought it a lot. I rewrote the script like 1.5 times. It's like I scrapped the entire script. I fucking rewrote it. And then like I went through and like scrapped entire sections of the finished script and rewrote that. I was like super paranoid. I was like, I got to get this perfect. This needs to be a really good video. So like, yeah, I definitely overthought it. If I was more confident that I could make a good video about this, probably would have been out like a month ago. Why didn't you use ChatGPT? I'll use ChatGPT sometimes. I try not to rely on it too hard, but I definitely use it sometimes. If I read something out loud and the wording is like really weird, like it sounds really fucking weird, I'll usually feed it to ChatGPT and get it to spit me out something better. What's your opinion on Hutch saying Food Shops was a strong liberal and a good candidate for his new team of liberal influencers? That's awesome. I'm not too happy with food shops. They lied to me about the contents of their Cameron DMs, and then they also told Cameron to not talk to me. So are you helping Dickers with his video? He hasn't asked, but obviously if he wants help, I'll help him and I'll give him like editing advice or whatever, or writing advice or whatever. But he's like a fucking, doesn't he have like a degree, and doesn't he write like articles or like papers on shit? Like if his writing is probably going to be significantly better than mine ever could be. So I think he doesn't even need good editing. As long as his editing is like passable, if his writing is good, he'll probably be fine. I think Dickers has a really good opportunity because he's seen what issues people have with my video. He can obviously take that critique and use it on his and apply it to his, right? So his video hopefully is better than mine. In a perfect world, his video mogs mine because he has the opportunity to essentially get criticism before his video's even out, right? Because he can look at mine and see what people had issues with mine, right? Basically, he pussied out and waited for you to go first. Yeah, he kind of did, to be honest, because we were going to release it, or he said he was going to release it the same time I released it. And then I released mine, or I said, like, I'm uploading mine tomorrow. I said that to him, and he's like, oh, yeah, I'm uploading next week. And I was like, oh, okay. So, like, yeah, well, I don't think that's I'm not shit talking him. I think it's a fine idea. I don't care. Like, yeah, make a good video. I'd rather, have a good video about Cameron out there. I don't really care particularly too much, right? Yeah. Hopefully he's able to take the critique to heart. Hopefully he's able to look what people are saying about it and ultimately make a good video. It's going to take longer because he has to record his soy pog reactions. I don't have much faith in Dickers. The video is probably okay. My expectations for Dickers. I think the video is gonna be fine. I don't think it's gonna be amazing or anything like that. Dickers needs to revise the video because he sent me all the shit and hasn't messaged me back. It's so shit right now. Okay, well maybe that's not a good sign. Maybe that's not a good sign. Okay. Gulp? Gulp? Dickers has never made a video essay that I've known. He said he hasn't, so I'm trusting him when he says that. So this is going to be his first ever video essay, his first ever prepared content in terms of like a long form video. So I don't think this video is going to... I don't think his video is going to be phenomenal. It's probably going to be good though. Probably going to be fine. I don't know what Dickers is doing. Doesn't he stream full time now? He shouldn't be busy with like school and stuff, right? Or he shouldn't be busy with like a job. I'm pretty sure he streams full time. He should have time to like converse with editors and converse with writers and stuff and talk about the writing aspect. Eric's Blue. Hi, smile. Hi, smile. You, Gamma, and Dickers need a group chat to help each other on videos. True. His social battery is probably low. Maybe. Okay. Is there? I don't want to act like I'm like running or anything. I don't want to be a runner. Okay. If there's any other criticism or anything, any other questions about the video or about Cameron or about the call that I had with him that was recorded but not public yet, is there anything that needs to be talked about? You guys have any questions? Anything else we should talk about before we move on? Before we move on. Smile. Why didn't you release the name of the innocent black man? I considered releasing his first name and censoring his last name. But ultimately, I don't know if this is his roommate. I don't know if this is another tenant. This is like basically just some random guy, right? I didn't want to, you know, I don't think he deserves to have his shit out there. So I decided against it ultimately. Your video wasn't the only one to push the he's not a good person to be a content cop, and I think that point needs to be dropped. My point is that he's dishonest. My overarching point, did he have sex with a 16-year-old? Maybe. I don't know. Did he sexually assault a 16-year-old? Maybe. I don't know. My overarching point generally is that he is dishonest. And I think generally, if you are dishonest, probably shouldn't be making like hours-long video essays about, you know, Hassan or fucking or iDubbbz, when a lot of the critique has to have or is to a lot of the critique is that, oh, these people are dishonest or whatever. I think that's retarded, right? Why didn't you call him a Trump supporter? I asked him in the call, actually. He said no. He said he used to be, but he's very liberal now. TK, I agree that he worked with a known abuser, but he didn't work with them long. And also, there's obviously, he started working with this guy when he was 15. So I believe Cameron at 19 had agency, and he should have stopped working with them. I can definitely understand you were a minor at the time. You've worked with this guy. You've known him for like almost 4 years, four or 5 years at this point. And then you don't want to like just abandon him. He's like one of your closest friends. Like, yeah. Is it bad that he did that? Yeah, but I don't know if that's like, that's obviously not going to be a point that sticks. I don't think that's a good strong point. Why didn't you mention Hassan was bad? Cameron asked if I was a Hassan fan. I told him no, and then he accused me of being a Destiny fan afterwards. I got accused of being a Hassan fan and then a Destiny fan. He was like, you watch a lot of Destiny, don't you? You watch a lot of Destiny, don't you? You talk like Destiny. Which, very big insults coming from Cam on that front, all right? At 17, you know that working with a pedo is bad. Yeah, and you were 17 still DMing him and talking with him and praising him and being his friend and talking sexually with him. So on that other side of that same coin, you know, you were still, you know, right? So again, I don't think that's a strong argument. He started working with him when he was 15. He obviously worked with this guy for years and years and years, 4 years in total, probably 4 years and a handful. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's a strong argument. If you worked with Yandere Dev for like a year straight, sure. I would say like, yeah, he probably should have stopped working with him. But it was only a handful of months. And he ultimately decided to, you know, send the police stuff, work with the police and stuff like that. So I don't think working with Yandere Dev is a super strong argument. My issue with Cameron is that he is dishonest. He is dishonest, and his main critique is like, oh, these are bad faith actors or whatever. But he himself is a bad faith, dishonest actor, right?